Hey there, YouTube fans. How you going, man? Well, it's that time of day again to update you and myself on the Tanita body fat scales that I had done at the doctor's office. According to this, I did have some good news, which is good for a change. My weight is higher, but the actual body fat percentage is lower, according to this, which is good. So I'll just quickly go through this, and then I'll talk about what's going on with my blood sugars and all the rest of it. I'll do it this way. So it used to be in October. It used to be, well, this is the 28th of October. So 28th of October, and then I think it's it was just recently, a few days ago in November. All right, so it used to be 149.1. That is up from what I used to be. And it used to be 43.4% body fat. So my weight now, ironically, is higher. Last time this was tested, it's 150.7, although this morning I'm 150.2. So I'm a little lighter. The fat percentage now, according to this, was 41.4. So a drop in body fat percentage, but okay, so yeah, okay, here we go. This is good. So the fat mass used to be 64.7, and now the fat mass is 62.4. So I did drop a couple of kilograms of fat according to this, which is great. The fat-free mass was 84.4. Well, this is great. Now the fat-free mass is 88.3. So I gained 4 kilograms of muscle. So I lost a couple of kilograms of fat and gained 4 kilograms of muscle. The muscle mass used to be 80.3 and now it's 84. So part of the curse and blessing of my particular body which is a meso-endomorph. I did do another video on the somatotypes of people's bodies. So you can be an ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. Is being a meso-endomorph, somewhere in the beginning, between the meso and the endomorph. I can put on muscle pretty easily, but I also put on fat, unfortunately. I'm not a mesomorph. So there's benefits and pros and cons, let's say. So the muscle mass used to be 80.3 and now it's 84. Which is fantastic. Bone mass 4.1, now it's 4.3, allegedly more bone density. The basal metabolic rate used to be 2,650 calories and now it's 2,769. Therefore, I need more food to maintain that body weight. So I need to eat more, which is really amazing. But anyway, why am I just doing weights? Why am I now at this kind of body weight? And the fat-free mass calculation online, it says that this guy is possibly using anabolic steroids, which is great. It's such a compliment. But I was a bodybuilder in the past, so muscles have memory, and I've been able to put on that muscle. I'm just trying to get leaner, and which is quite a challenge for me, but I'll explain a few reasons why. Let's see. I mean, ironically, it says here ideal body weight 71 kilograms, which is funny, and BMI again, which doesn't apply to bodybuilders very well. It's 46.5 now. I used to be 46, so my BMI is up higher. The visceral fat rating. This is interesting. So the fat under your skin was 29 and now it's 28. That's good. And the metabolic age was 66 and still 66. All right, moving on to the next thing. I went and got an oral glucose tolerance test for diabetes and pre-diabetes. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to fail that test because I was watching my glucometer or constant glucose monitor. I've got this Freestyle Libre 2 sensor on my arm, and it just wasn't coming down fast enough to qualify as non-diabetic. So I'd say I would be in the ranges that I was getting I'm probably in the pre-diabetic range again, unfortunately. Nothing I can do about that but lose weight. Lose the body fat would be the ideal thing. And here's why I gained a whole bunch of weight. The good news is I don't think it's low dose naltrexone. I need to go back on my videos and maybe edit some of those comments. I don't think it was, which is good news because I could go back on low dose naltrexone again if I want to. Well, I'm just going to wait a little bit longer just to be sure that that's not what it was. But my point is this: I am having reactive hypoglycemia events. So in other words, I can have just a piece of chicken, some protein and some salad, or some fish and some salad, sometimes even carbohydrates mixed in there, and it can just tank, especially in my blood sugar can just tank, and especially in the afternoon. And I did double check with the finger prick glucometer, and yes, it was going really low, especially it was like 3.8 and 4 in the Australian standard. This happened that day. Well, it's happened yesterday as well. So it was really bad on the Tuesday that I did the oral glucose tolerance test, because they made me drink 75 grams of pure glucose, just pure sugar, or glucose, even worse than sugar. Sugar is technically fructose and glucose together, if you didn't know. So it went spiked through like right off the charts, like 14 or something ridiculous, and then crashed down after I had a meal, because of course I was hungry, sitting there for 2 hours, fasted, and had this stuff in my belly, and then it just crashed, it tanked. So this points to having an extended glucose tolerance test, not just the normal oral glucose tolerance test, if you want to diagnose reactive hypoglycemia. But I'm not your doctor, and just a disclaimer out there, this is just for my information. Somebody else might benefit from this info, but that's what I've been able to learn along the way. Please check with your own doctor, you know the spiel. So I'm pretty sure I have reactive hypoglycemia, and when it starts going low and then it goes up and then it goes low and goes up and it zigzags like this in a very brief period of time, it's really hard for me to keep my blood sugars up there. And what makes it worse is exercising. I noticed that, but I'm not going to sit around the house. I'm just going to have to deal with it. What I'd have to do, like I was forcibly had to do, was get a whole bunch of sugar in me and get my blood sugars right up very high, so that it took longer for it to come crashing down. That's the only way I could manage that, and then try and get a low GI carbohydrate protein meal in there to try and stabilize it. But honestly, yeah, I'm having some real struggles with that, because I don't really want to keep eating. I'm fidgeting by brushing dust off. Sorry. I don't want to keep eating, and I don't want to have Coca-Cola and sugar, which I'd have to have in an emergency situation, or else I'm not going to lose any weight. I have been referred to an endocrinologist as well. That's where I'm at. So those things, thank goodness there was a reduction in body fat percentage. There was an increase in muscle mass. So I'm very heavy. Somebody can tell me the mass, but it's something like 320 pounds, 150.2 kilograms. But it wasn't bad weight, all the bad weight. Still 41.7% body fat on the last one. Some of the lowest percentage body fat that I've been able to get is around 39. So it's not the end of the world. I've got to use bigger clothes and things like that, but that's all right. I'm going to try and watch what I eat and cut out a lot of sugar, unless I'm having a hypoglycemia event. I have to use it. There's no way around it. You can just keep going lower and lower, and it's dangerous, and you feel bad. So if I start going back on low dose naltrexone, it's quite expensive. Actually, I found out that you could send away from it, it's cheaper. But if I go back on that, I'll let you know. Let's just keep an eye on things, see if I start to lose weight or lose body fat, and see how I feel physically not being on it. Touch wood, I'm okay except for post-exertional malaise because I went to gym and I was running around and everything yesterday. All right, so that's an update. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you learned something today, and I'll see you in the next one. Teacher Sal out. God bless. Ciao.